Hello and welcome to the Telegraph Studios. Today we're talking about payment security. When a company or an individual buys something online, how secure is that transaction? With me is Paul Thomalla of ACI. Paul, hi.
Hi.
Can we start? Whose job is it to build a fail-safe payment system?
Well, it's not just a job. It is, in fact, a shared responsibility for everybody in the chain. You know, there are many people that are involved in this, and it's everyone's responsibility, from the merchants, from the networks, to the banks, and all the other players in between. So it's all of our responsibility. And what it needs is somebody that has a purview across all of those players, works with them, and works globally to come and try and help. That's what ACI is about.
We seem to have been taking on the fraudsters for decades now. I mean, why haven't we beaten them yet?
Well, first of all, it is a very, very complex problem. And what we see as a simple transaction, in reality, isn't a simple transaction. You go onto somebody's website, you're trying to buy some goods, you press click, you think that's it. But the truth of the matter is there are many layers behind that. And the layers are from the merchant site themselves, to the network providers, to the banks and all the other intermediaries. And every one of those guys is updating their systems on a very regular basis to increase more functionality. The problem with that, from a fraudster's point of view, that's a great opportunity to go and have a look and try and probe to see which of those is the weakest link. And actually, if they find one, then they'll stay there and they'll try and exploit it, or they'll move on. And our job is to get them to move on.
So what are the weakest links in our defence system?
So it depends upon the countries, it depends upon the types of goods involved, and it depends upon the various timings that happen within the year. Actually, some countries have, frankly, different rules and how it's done. So there's an issue inside of there. Also, it depends upon the type of goods you're looking at. Fast-moving goods, whether it's high-tech or it's high fashion. And also, in the time of the year, well, we all get used now to Black Friday and obviously Christmas, but actually volumes go up at that time. And therefore, from a retailer's point of view, quite often they actually slacken things down to make sure that all those transactions can go through. So it does kind of depend upon those three factors. Mm.
It seems the fraudsters really are pretty unbeatable. I mean, is there any point in going on? Is the situation hopeless?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. So, yes, these guys are getting smarter, and yes, they're putting more money out, but so are we. And that's the key point here. So are we. We're really getting ourselves aligned. ACI looks across all of the payments chain. We work with all of the players. So actually, we have good insight to what's going on into those systems, and therefore we can help. Actually, we're sharing that information as well across the globe, because fraud is not a country problem by and large. It is a worldwide problem.
What role does ACI play? What solutions do you offer?
We offer a range of solutions that work with the merchants themselves, retailers, and with banks. And we use the UP framework, to help glue all that together to make sure that we can actually control that. So our job is to look after the solutions, whether you're online, protecting the fraud, or across the whole of the food chain that goes in the payments arena. That's what we're really focused in on.
You recently purchased Red Retail Decisions. What was the thinking behind that?
Well, the key decision there was behind the fact that ACI is extraordinarily strong looking after retailers in store, extraordinarily strong looking after the banks and all the intermediaries that go on. But the online piece, the thing that's growing very, very fast, actually we needed Red to come in. We bought Red so we could make our total retail fraud solution really, really strong, both from in-store and from the online piece. Bringing those together actually makes a huge difference.
So are you offering a one-size-fits-all solution?
Well, there really isn't a one-size-fits-all, and I'll try and explain. So, for instance, if you are a retailer and you're doing fast-moving goods, well, actually, people want it now. The point, click, go. I want those goods, and I want it now. That puts stress in the systems to make sure you can physically do that. Or if you're in the travel industry, for instance, then actually it is very much about the last minute. I want to go tomorrow. And again, that puts stress to make sure that the fraud systems work. Or if you're in a telco, the other side of it there is actually top-ups. We don't think about them, but actually small amount of money. The fraudsters probe that. If they can get success with a small amount of money, they use that to go and then go after bigger fish. So it kind of does depend which part of the industry you need, and therefore it just isn't one size fits all, I'm afraid.
So how do you measure success?
Well, we work with the retailers and our analysts to make sure that there are a certain series of KPIs that work, whether it's making sure that the real customers get through and buy the goods, or actually chargebacks are reduced. It kind of depends upon what you want. But our systems are hosted, so we can see them online, we can see them very, very quickly around the world, and we can bring those types of information straight to the customer.
So looking ahead, who's your money on? The good guys or the fraudsters?
The good guys.
And why is that?
Because ACI is looking at it from a truly holistic point of view. Across the globe, we work with all the people in the payments arena. This is at the very heart of it, and we're focused on fixing it.
Paul Thomalla from ACI, many thanks.